2023 Garrard's Horse and Hound Miracle Mile winner, Catch a Wave, Kate Gath. Congratulations.
Thank you. What a thrill.
It must have been a huge... Firstly, that was just a brilliant race. It must have been great to be a part of that actual race out there.
Yeah, I think because I had no idea what was going to happen. I didn't think I'd be in front. Best scenario was that MacDan come out hard and I could come out with it and we could, force the issue a little bit, and it's kind of what happened, but it wasn't what I thought would happen, and we just got a bit of luck, and then we backed off that second quarter, and then after that it was just game over.
It's a different track to drive at, and this horse seems to be relishing this bigger track. He seems to get in a groove, and once he's in that groove, he's going to be very, very hard to beat.
Yeah, the first time here he didn't handle it well. I went back at the start, and he never felt comfortable. That we sort of were going to go around in the second quarter. That's what Andy wanted me to do, and they were sort of running about a 28.5, and I didn't go because I wasn't travelling. I was running up the track. I just didn't feel comfortable at all. Even around the last corner, and I was 3 wide. He just didn't feel comfortable on the track. But then the next week with the Chariots, he felt so much better. And then I just think sometimes they take that one run here where they run flat out the whole way. At home, we back a quarter off, and I think it makes a difference. And it's just a little bit new for them when they race here for the first time.
Describe the elation when you hit the line. You've won a lot of big races, and there's a great story to this. For the Twitter people, we can only do about a 2-minute video, so I sort of cut them a little bit short. But can you describe that footage, that emotion, I suppose, when you hit the line?
I don't know if I can. I guess it's pure elation, maybe even ecstasy to an extent. It's something that I've won a lot of Group 1, big races now, and it just fortunate enough that it keeps happening, or we have that little bit of luck tonight where we found the front and then where we got that second breather. Because if you find the front in 25.5 and then get hammered the whole way, it's going to be pretty hard to hold on and win. So I just feel like, you do need that little bit of luck. He still had to go 25.5 out the gate. So I'm not saying you needed all the luck, but you just need that little bit somewhere. And he got that. And because of that, he was able to win the race. So, it's just, I learned in the Chariots that you got to be in it to win it, because I may have whinged to Andy for 2 weeks on not making me come, but saying, because Andy, he wasn't on the radar to come to the Chariots. Andy was convinced he didn't want to bring him. Then he changed his mind. And I was like, why? And then he said, there's no other races for him. I think we'll just go. And I sort of thought we wouldn't be able to beat Captain Ravishing, but not that there's anything wrong with second, but you still got to run second. And then after the Chariots and the way he went, I was just, in awe of my own horse instead of, Captain Ravishing. And even though I'm still in awe of that horse, but yeah, he just keeps getting better all the time. And, we've got him, and he just keeps getting the job done and probably just getting better all the time, like I said. And
he seems to be getting his manners better. What happened the first start?
He wears a cord and the rein rolled over back the other way, which isn't unusual, completely uncommon with cords. And because the barrier attendant had him, was leading him up, and then it rolled back the wrong way. And then I was like, oh no, we can't go up like that. So we had to correct that. So that's what happened.
No, that's all right, because his manners are getting better and better. It was the Summer Carnival in Melbourne. I know he looked at some shadows. He wanted to run off the track. He can be a little bit quirky, but this trip away, these couple of trips, Andy, we've got to say well done to Andy too. Well done to Andy for promoting the sport, because he puts all the Tarcutta Hotel, it's going to get more people stay there than anyone, but promoting it. These 3 trips away, to me, I might be wrong, but it seems to really have matured the horse.
Yeah, he's handled it so well, and that was another reason Andy was keen to come to the Chariots, because if he, did get in the Eureka, we didn't want to have to travel him away from home in a race like that for the first time. But he just loves it. He just eats everything, drinks he just looks after himself. You literally don't have to do a thing to him. He thinks he's a king in the barn, in the retention barn. He's got the best of both worlds, fans, water misters. He just loves it, and he's settled, and he's just taken to it like a pro. So definitely would think that there's no problems with that going forward.
And being a gelding, he must look at those other boys and think, what are you on about?
I know, I think he does. That's the one good thing about him. And Richard, all these horses he owned, he gelded them straight away when he'd buy colts, the yearling sales, because he had so many mares on his property. So that's one less thing to worry about as well.
You mentioned Richard and the family and the joy afterwards. I keep saying harness racing is a family sport. It is getting more professional. We're racing for more money and all the rest. They'll never take away that family sport. And the scenes that I saw there on the lawn afterwards, and even just listening to the speech and the son choking back some tears, it is so good. So sad that Richard can't be here, but it's so this next phase, I suppose, of the Richard Matthews family and the legacy that he's going to leave, these kids are just loving every minute of it, aren't they?
Yeah, like they had nothing to do with horses. And poor Dave, one of his sons, he just copped the job and he just took it on. And he just, Andy's been educating him on what's a good run and a bad run in sectionals, because the poor guy knew nothing about the sport. And now he really looks forward to racing, coming home from work and racing the horses and watching the horses race. He said, I can understand why Dad did this. It's such a, good outlet to have, an enjoyable one. And even his daughters that are here tonight, like Pauline, she stays home. She hasn't been to the races since, Richard's passing, but the girls came and, like, they're the most loveliest family, all of them. And like you said, something, tragic happened, but something unbelievably good's come out of it. And that's that his legacy lives on, and it's got more people into the sport that I actually didn't know have anything to do with it and are really enjoying it. Winning the Miracle Mile with chariots or not, they are still enjoying going to Kilmore and winning a race. So it's been it's a double-edged sword, but one that's that when that's what Richard wanted. He wanted his legacy to live on. He didn't want this horse sold. He didn't want it gone. He said this horse has to race, like keep him racing, and they've honoured that to their credit.
Oh, and they're going to have a ripping ride, and you've got the Eureka coming up back here. Now things get a little bit tricky for him too, I suppose. It's not as if there's going to be a stack of races around for him. The excitement level, you've got the Cordina Racing, and they're great supporters here of Menangle, and the excitement level looking at the Eureka, like you've just won $1 million race. There's a $2 million race on the radar now. How does the excitement level look for that?
Yeah, I like being the underdog, but I don't know about that. But, Leap to Fame isn't back yet, and I just think everyone that loves this sport's in for a treat. Like, imagine that, Leap to Fame, Captain Ravishing, Catch a Wave in a race together. Like, I know it's going to get down to draws and somewhat the luck with that, but it's just, we've got so much to look forward to, and such, exciting 4-year-olds, good horses. It's been a while, I think, since we've had those outstanding, maybe not, sorry if I'm being disrespectful to anyone, I have a bit of a short memory, but horses as exciting as that, and I just feel like this is what the sport needed, and it's really important for it going forward. And I'm as excited as anyone else out there to see what the future holds.
I'm lucky I get to hold a microphone and promote it. It's easy to promote when these things happen. Just one quick one. You said there it's almost an addiction. You run. I don't run as much as I did. That's why the buttons are a bit tighter than what they should be. Winning that race, hitting the line, is it that sort of same euphoria, I suppose, as what you get when you have a good hard run? Was that what it was like, or something totally different? Yeah,
look, I guess to an extent, but I'm not fast enough to win any running races. So I don't think you can get that feeling, that winning feeling, especially a Group 1. I don't think you can get it doing anything else unless you are an Olympian or an athlete winning gold medal or the best in the world or, the best in the country. So I think anyone that's, lucky enough to do that, owners, trainers, drivers, it doesn't get old. Sometimes, I've been doing this a while now, and, it can get tough, the workload and stuff. And when you do something for such a long time, sometimes, it can get a bit monotonous, but winning group, this is what it's about, and winning Group 1 races doesn't get that. And when you get that feeling, if I gave it away tomorrow, I wouldn't get that feeling from anything else that I did in life that I'm aware of.
I spoke to Rex Hocking. He won it 50 years ago with Reichman, and I said to him about that. When you go past the line, and anyone that's been fortunate enough to drive a winner or even be in a race, you do get that moment of silence, I suppose, after a race, whether you just block everything out. That would have been pretty special, just you and him when you're pulling up, I would imagine, when you just got that time to yourself straight after it. No media, no one else in your way. It must have been very special for you, and Catch a Wave out over the back straight. Yeah,
there was no one else near me at that stage either. So, that stage, it was just, him and I, and it was a little bit of a feeling of, of a little bit disbelief still, even though I'm lucky enough to continue winning these sort of races. I still never go out there thinking I'm just going to win, or this race was probably one of the most intriguing races and unknown races of what I thought was going to happen pre-race. I didn't know. I'd gone through every scenario in my head. I'd watch replays of the last 7, and I really, really had to come from the fence if you were going to run on. Even in an 8-horse field, you really didn't want to be back last or wide, and I just didn't know. And I went on to track and I just didn't really know. I'd played everything out in my head, so at the time, if it happened, I could snap straight onto it, but I went out there not really knowing what was going on, and and then my job was made easy when I found the front. So, it's just disbelief of, having that little bit of luck to find the front, getting that cheap second quarter, and these things just keep happening where we're able to win. But to the horse's credit, he did it pretty well, and, he probably could have went a little bit quicker.
Okay, you're a credit to the industry. I love interviewing you. You're a credit. You always give me the time, no matter what's going on. You didn't even know where your horse was when you come back. You're a Team Teal ambassador, so get real support Team Teal as well. We must make sure that. But I can't say thank you enough. Andy, what the job that he does as well. I think what you do is a credit. Congratulations, you deserve it. Got to say a huge thank you to Garrards for what they've done as well. Look forward to following this bloke's career, but well done to you, and keep up the great work. Love interviewing you. You're one of the best ones to chat to, so thank you very much.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Garrards for sponsoring, such an iconic race, and to Jack Callahan for swabbing the horse, and everyone that pitched in and helped ungear him. The track attendants, unbelievable, because we didn't have stable hands here, but they wanted us on track, so they arranged it. So thanks to Harness Racing New South Wales and everyone involved with that.
Well done, Katie.
Thanks.